Alright, this is my legacy project, Walk of Legends, originally made by Caleb Wohlers. His version, you just have to reach the dragon, and you gain attack power for killing enemies. And yeah, that's the main goal here. There are health pickup items, freeze pickups that'll freeze enemies in place, infinite health pickups that are temporary invincibility, essentially. But other than that, there isn't anything really else other than the variety of enemies. You can see the HUD's kind of oddly spaced. A couple changes that I've made there. As you can see, the goal in this is still destroy the dragon, but specifically talks about building up your character, as you now have money and quests. So, let's get the invincibility and fight off some of these goblins. As you can see, we're now getting 25 gold per goblin kill. That is adjustable in the settings. Let's see if I can get enough of these defeated to get some quests done. And there we go. Quest 1 and 2 completed at the same time. We got 10 kills and now have $250 in our game, with our character. Entering the shop. I'm going to buy some health, heal up. Yeah, I'm going to spend the rest on power there. And then continue on. There are 3 shops on the map, all of which lead to the same shop screen. It's listed there. But I want to see if I can actually beat this with this. So the Minotaurs, which is what the curly brace is supposed to be, drop, I believe, 75 gold upon defeat. And the Orcs, which is the O's, drop 50. Let's get past some of these Orcs, and I'm actually just going to buy a freeze and kill off some of the enemies that are around. And then buy some health. There. Let's power up a little bit. Buy some more health. And I'll hold on to that for now. So the D there is the dragons. That is our eventual goal. I want to get my power up before I fight that. See if I can gather some of these. Oh, Minotaur seems to have been triggered. Yeah, be able to defeat them pretty quickly now that I have decent attack power. Okay, let's heal up. Buy some power. Heal up. And let's go. Yeah. Let's see if I can power up a couple more times, and then let's go fight a dragon. There's the final shop. Okay. Now, let's get back to full health and really power up. Let's go fight a dragon. And we can see the end of the game. Oh, it jumped away. Let's grab the invincibility and get fighting. Dragon's a little annoying to chase down. And a win screen. One with that much money, that much remaining health, and that many remaining enemies. Personally, I also wanted to go through some of the process that I went through making this. So I started off by just seeing what I could figure out, like what all this does, and a lot of it is pretty self-explanatory, as variable names were not bad. And I started off like adding some comments in certain areas. That's something I made, so let's see where some of the comments are. No, I put them somewhere. I did go in, yeah, I was cleaning up the code, removing the redundant calls at the beginning, mainly just going through and reading through this a lot, making sure everything that was there was necessary and I understood everything that was needed. So like, yeah. Checks tile, makes the player, make sure the player doesn't move, like you can't move into that spot, moves the player. After that, I was just figuring out what I first needed to do. So I started with making the quests, There's the quest manager, which was pretty easy. So I just created a quest manager that references the player, has some strings that are your quests, and then just a completed text. And then it just checks based on player stats if those quests are complete, and changes the quest text to completed text, which is then updated in the UI, as the UI just uses references to the quest text itself. I also, when I went through to make the quest UI, it was pretty easy. I just found where the controls are and where the legend is. And since there was that pretty nice spot right in between them, I was able to nestle this right there and made sure using the map camera height based on what this was previously to make sure they didn't clash with each other. The shops were a little bit trickier. I started off initially having it all built as just a toggleable input. So there was just a player input where you could just press a button, open the shop. But I changed that to recognize a tile that you're on. And it was interesting because the system that Caleb uses overwrites the tile on the map with the player character. So I actually had to add to the player an ability to recognize the shop position and save it, so that when you no longer match the shop position, it replaces the shop you just touched, so it doesn't erase the shop upon entering it. After that, it was just making sure the shop had matching input right here to either up your damage, up your health, or buy a freeze power-up, which just does, if your coins are less than the cost, apply the attack up minus the coins. If the money is less than the cost, apply the heal, subtract the coins. Same with the frost. If you have the money, remove the coins, buy the item. All in all, I did find this project rather interesting, given taking someone's code from last year, all of us still learning object-oriented stuff at the time, so it's interesting, one, to see where someone was at previously, and also knowing this isn't where they're at now. We've definitely learned already more than this, and I have no doubt they might even have the same amount of trouble going back and doing this themselves, and it just reinforces the importance of things like XML comments and such. And it is also quite nice knowing that stuff like this is what's going to be handed to us in industry. We're just going to be handed a partial project or a previous project and told to make something new out of it. So it's really interesting going through and seeing how you can modify one's code.